Hello guys, are you okay? So we're back here for one more class of our Region 5. Today we're going to talk about optimization of our file, okay? For example, reduce a little the size that the file is occupying in HD, okay? We are almost getting to the class about animation, alright? How to do animated cameras, movements into our projects. I believe that we can clean our file. We can delete what we don't need, materials that we're not using, okay? So that we're gonna have more space uh, in HD. For example, if we access here, let's see, and we go to properties, it's occupying 12 gigabytes, almost 13, okay, inside our HD. We can decrease the size. How? Well, let me access here the file. Um, as we evolve our project, uh, we accessed a lot of places. The Quixel, other projects, we migrated files, we created materials, we replaced materials, we created textures, we deleted textures. All right, we did a lot of things like that. And that was accumulating our project with a lot of things. So not necessarily we're using all the materials of the project, all the textures that we have in content. So probably there are textures and materials in content that we're not using, okay? Maybe in some moment here in the course we duplicated, we changed the textures, we created another material, and that was accumulating, okay, a lot of materials, all right, and other things here in the content, and that takes up space on our ATD. So what can we do? Well, we can keep here just the necessary, only the necessary that we need, okay? How can we do that? Well, we can try to find what I'm not gonna use, and we can delete these things. Exactly, you can use this method, all right? You can try to find something that you're not using, okay? uh, However, uh, this way it would take a lot of time, and you could delete something that you would need, so that's kind of dangerous. um, so for example, this one here, it is being used in the main level. If you delete this, that's gonna delete there. So what can we do? Well, instead of deleting the files of our project, we can migrate our project to other project. Do you remember that when we studied in the migrate classes, when we migrated this bed here? Let me see if that's the one. Maybe it was another one. But let's select this other geometry here. Double click on it. Do you remember that when we migrated this bed from the bed package to this project, we talked that these materials were associated with this bed. So these materials, they're gonna go together like with the bed because they are associated, these details. Do you remember that? So when we talk about project, we can also migrate projects, okay? And everything that is associated with this, it's gonna be sent in the process of migration. So everything that is related to one project is gonna go to another project, okay? And what is not related is gonna stay in the older project, okay? So let's think like this. If actually I'm gonna open a one more asset here, a different asset. Let's take geometries, decoration. Let's see. I don't know, this one. Yeah, this one. Look, I will have two objects here. We have the bed and the carpet. Let's suppose that this here is a project, uh, piano house, and this one is the key house. If I take the project of key house and I take to piano house, that's gonna take together everything that is associated with this, and that's gonna stay what is not being used. For example, let's open here the level, piano house, main. Okay, look at this here in the piano house. We're using vegetations, uh, gravels, wood, wall, a lot of elements, correct? I can, for example, besides migrating an asset, a material, or a texture, we can migrate a level, okay? And as in the geometry, it's gonna go with this level, everything that is associated with this, okay? So it's gonna go with this level, everything that is inside here, and it's gonna stay everything that is not being used. For example, if I select this palm tree and go to details, this palm tree is this, and that one is this one. Okay, so I'm using these two palm trees. Theoretically, I'm not using the other ones, okay? None of them, okay? If I migrate this level to another project, it's gonna take everything that is inside this, and it's gonna stay everything that I'm not using. For example, this, you know. So in other words, the project that this level is going to, it's gonna go with less materials, less textures, less assets, okay? So it's gonna stay behind all of this, and it's gonna go to the other project, just things that are inside here. And that's gonna make the other project lighter, okay? You got it? But there is a thing that you have to be careful. You have to pay attention. Do remember when we migrated the project of the bed, when we migrated the asset of the bed to this project, that we had to have the object associated, the material associated to the object, because when I migrate this object, the material goes together. Do you remember that? With levels, not necessarily you need to do that, because that's gonna go together with the levels, the materials that are being used in the level. But we can do this, and we can associate the materials to the object. This way, if I need to use, for example, this curtain here that is with the pivot adjusted in another project, it's gonna go with the correct material, because look at this. In the content area, the material associated with this curtain is this material here, but in the scene is this one, okay? So we can associate the correct material to the curtain, because we can take the level and also in an organized way, okay? Let's do something here. Let's use this class to associate the materials to the assets, associate the textures to the materials. For example, this aluminum wall, let's use this class to take this material here and associate to this. Let's see. Because if I need to use this aluminum panel in another project, it's gonna be with the correct material. Or if I need the material of this material in another asset, I can take this material from this geometry, okay? For example, let's use this class to associate the materials to these things here. Look, this material for the wood material, this other one to the chrome material, this to the black paint. All right. So this way we can make our object finished and with the correct materials, and then we can migrate our project to another project in a correct way. Okay, organized with the correct materials, with no risk to have some problems. Okay, so let's use this class to open the project. Okay, I'm gonna select the asset, I'm gonna open the asset, and I'm gonna associate the material to this. Okay, and I'm gonna hide this. All right, let me select the table, for example, click on it, double click on it, take the material and associate to this. Look at this, you see? And actually it's just one material. Is that correct? Yeah. Let me hide this with 8, the letter 8. Okay, I'm gonna take, for example, this armchair, double click on it, I'm gonna find the material, associate it. Okay, and associate actually, let's see, and hide this. Okay, there are instances they were applied. Okay, so for example, this one we already did, so press G. Okay, the couch, double click on it, let's search for the material and associate. Okay, press 8 to hide. All right, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to accelerate the video, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to associate the materials to the assets so I can keep them organized. Okay, the correct materials in the correct assets in case I want to migrate this asset to another project. After that, in the next class, we're gonna migrate the level to another level. Okay, so that we're gonna leave behind everything that we're not using. Okay, and we are going to get on the things that we're using to another project. To what project? To a project that is a project from the beginning, okay, with no files there. I'm gonna speed up the video and you're gonna see that I'm going to do this, all right, with this time lapse, adding the materials, to the assets. Okay, so if I need to migrate these assets to another project, they are gonna go associated the correct materials. Okay, so I'm gonna do this, and I'll see you in the next class.